Hello and welcome everyone to this morning's or night's or evening or wherever you are Super Metroid 100% tournament action. This qualifier round 1 part B. We had part A last night. I'm Cerberoth and with me is Tracy. How are you doing this morning?
Doing fantastic. Looking forward to the second of these qualifiers. Actually, first B, second, I don't know. It's the second
Second half.
qualifier, second race of the first qualifier. So the way this works is there are 4 qualifier rounds, 2 races per round. You can participate in all 4 rounds or just one. But you can't participate in both qualifiers of the same round. So
That's right. You cannot participate in the A and the B.
So we're going to have completely different runners today. We have, let me see what our numbers are. I think we're at about 18.
That sounds about right to me.
Yeah.
On stream, we have in the upper left, we have C Scotty W. In the lower left, we have coming out of the woodwork, Christofalo, a good runner from probably about 2 years ago. So it'll be interesting to see what he pulls out for us this morning. Then in the upper right, we have Andrew, and in the bottom left, we have Toasty. All of these veteran runners been around for quite a while. And, you know, one of the other interesting things is in our race today, we have even Hoda Ruby coming out of the woodwork. This has been great. We had 38 runners last night, and if we have about 18 today, this has been attracting people from all over the place, new and old, and it's just great to see this.
Yeah, looking really forward to this. So a few interesting notes here. So we have C-Sky-W, who you might know better from the GBA Troids. World record holder, I believe, in both Zero Mission and I believe also in Fusion. So really neat that he's branching out to play in this. But, you know, he's got a PB in Hundo of 1:19:20. So no slouch there. Christofalo, you said he's been around. He was around a while back. He was around for the last I saw him was the randomizer tournament 2017.
Yep.
So good to see him back. Andrew, also known as Fuzda. So forgive us if we switch off back and forth between those names. Been around for a long time. Toasty's compared to the other 3 is relatively new, although he's been around for a couple of years. Does a lot of randomizers. I should talk about their other PBs. So Fuzda with the 1:18:52, or Andrew. Christofalo with a 1:23:57. And Toasty has not managed to get himself a Hundo PB, though he does have a 49:29 in any percent. And sub 15 any percent is that's always good.
That is a really respectable time. So I expect to see pretty decent times here out of Toasty for this 100% run. Joke in chat there that you're not allowed to run both 1A and 1B, and yet here I am doing commentary again. The admins made a special exception for me because I'm just that good.
Yeah. You're always welcome to commentate, Sir Ross. We appreciate everything you do here. So
thank you. No, commentary doesn't count for that.
Of course not. Okay, so we just kind of glossed over Cirrus Station. They all got through it. Excellent. Pretty standard stuff. Not a whole lot of changes in Cirrus Station after all. Now we're going to go ahead and get our first item. First of 100 fanfares that you are going to hear in this run today.
Yeah, get used to that sound. It's going to get drilled into your brain. So we see some of our runners using Moonfall, some of them not using the Moonfall technique. The Moonfall here in the climb, or the fall, will save them probably about 1.5 seconds, something like 1.5 seconds. I don't know exactly how much it is. You probably know closer.
Yeah, I mean it's a decent time save.
It is a really good time save.
There are still a few holdouts that don't do Moonfall because having Moonwalk enabled, especially for older runners, it messes up some of their boss fights, in particular the Ridley fight.
Yeah. That's one of the major reasons why I still don't use it. So I think Christofalo's not using it because it's relatively new to him. So it's he in talk recently, he's like, oh, I got to learn this. So I would be surprised if we saw that from him today. So we'll see. As far as some of these other folks, definitely saw Tosi using it. Some really interesting things that Tosi's got going on the left side of his screen.
Yeah, we'll get one of our restreamers to fix that. SG always coming through for us. I'm very grateful to them for streaming all these tournaments for us, and this one coming up here, the 100%. And we can talk about the format of the 100% a little bit more. So it's gonna, we're basically anyone can enter the 100% qualifiers. But it's we're gonna take the top 48 and have a bracket set up, which is gonna whittle down to the top 4, and a little bit different than most of the tournaments we've done in the past. Instead of taking the top 4 and having 2 semifinals into a final, we're gonna go straight to a 4-player final race, and that really looking forward to that, especially if we can get some of the really top runners, you know, the Oats and the Zos and the Behemoth. We already know Zenny's gonna be in there. Even with his mishap, that time should qualify him, but I suspect he'll go for I fully expect him to run a few more qualifiers to improve on that.
Yeah, I would imagine he is planning to hit up at least next round. Yeah, that was very unfortunate. He had a pretty good time going into Mother Brain, and then he just got stuck in the floor facing the wrong way.
All right, as we come into the Bomb Chorizo fight, we're gonna have 4 Bomb Chorizos on screen and see how quickly we can get out of that. Ideally, you don't want to have you want to have full energy here. You'll notice that Scotty was a little bit lower. The reason for that is you want all these drops to be missiles. If you have a little bit of energy gone, you might not get any missiles, and so you're now relying on RNG.
Yeah, the key here is to leave the fight with 99 energy, so that Bomb Chorizo drops only missiles, so that you're guaranteed to be filled up.
Yep.
In order to go ahead and do the open the door for the early supers.
Yeah, missile count at this point very important, because that can definitely slow you down if you get into Brinstar without full missiles. I'm jumping the gun a little bit there.
You're just going straight in. Forget all this Brinstar action. We don't need any of that. I'm going straight to Norfair. So one thing we might see today is we might see that early ice route, just like we saw last night with Zenny. I'm not sure if Fuzda or Scotty do that. That is something that we could see, where our runners will skip over Grapple Beam, they'll go get Ice Beam, and they'll head straight up to the wreck ship. Now, if they do that, it will appear that they are very far ahead of the folks who go and pick up that Grapple Beam, but that is not necessarily true. We won't know until the runners, the routes converge, and they get back to basically X-ray scopes. Once the runners go and pick up X-ray scope, we'll know who is ahead if we see a route divergence.
Yeah, and for sure the ice early ice route is if done optimally, and those are always the keywords that I like to say for these things. If done optimally, the early ice route is faster. I've heard the number 20 seconds bandied about. I don't know what the exact number is, but you know, those keywords being optimal. It's harder to be optimal in the early ice route. First of all, you're only gonna have 3 E-tanks for Phantoon. That's not a really big deal, because that's what you're gonna have in any percent anyway. So that doesn't really change much. But there are a few little things that'll come up. Getting the E-tank in Wreck Ship is more difficult because you don't have a grapple beam. The ice clip into Shack Tool is more difficult because, well, you're using an ice clip instead of using grapple. It's just little things here and there that if you're not good at those things, you're not going to get a better time by going early ice. So I think most runners we're going to see throughout this tournament are going to go early ice. Are going to go early grapple.
Early grapple.
But the early ice, the best players, you know, Zenny does early ice, Zos does early ice. I assume Oast does early ice, and Behemoth I know does early ice. If those guys decide to enter, you're going to see some early ice, and it'd be really cool. I mean, if we end up with the 4 of those guys, and they are the 4 top hundo runners in the world, we'll see 4 early ices for sure.
I pretend to be good and do early ice, but it's I honestly I do that because I like that. I like my route. I like the way that I do that. So that's the only reason I do that.
Oh, that's the best reason to do something because you like it.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing with that is and if people don't think about that when they're getting into this is you with early ice you must speed booster kill Dragon or your missile killing Dragon. Because you don't have grapple, so that
Right.
option is just off the board for you. Now, you may have noticed that our runner skipped over those missiles there by the charge beam, and that's because we're going to come back to this area, and they didn't forget about it. They're going to pick them up a little bit later, where it's a little more optimal, a little bit faster to pick them up.
It's a little bit faster to pick them up while you're laying a power bomb. Of course, we don't have power bombs yet, so that's not currently an option. So typically runners will get that when they come and do the Brinstar loop cleanup.
Yep. Just want to point that out for our folks in chat who may not be familiar with all the intricacies of running 100% in Super Metroid. So question in chat: we do not yet have brackets for the tournament. These are the qualifiers. We have 4 qualifiers for this. This is qualifier round 1B. So this is the second half of the first round of qualifiers. I believe the second half, the second round starts this evening.
That's right. That'll be at 9 o'clock Eastern time. So hopefully a lot of those of you in chat will either be watching or participating in some cases.
Yeah.
And if you already participating in the first qualifier, you can participate in the second qualifier. You just can't participate in the same qualifying round. So.
Yep. The 2 times are for those in different time zones. We make sure we can get a convenient time for everybody. Those in APAC region, those in Europe, the Euro region, and those in North America.
Okay, as we head into our first boss fight into Kraid.
North, south, I guess.
We went 4 for 4 yesterday on the quick kills on the restream runners. Let's see if we can do the same today.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was really, really awesome. I like this Kraid quick kill. There's 2 different setups for it. One with the charge beam and one with the missiles. We saw all missiles yesterday.
Yeah, the missile strat is a little bit faster. The charge beam strat, you actually don't need to have charge beam to do it.
Nope.
But it's a little more lenient if you have that charge beam available.
Yeah, that one is going to require 4 super missiles. Whereas the missile strat will require 2 regular missiles and only 3 super missiles.
And that's
no! Gotti.
Yeah. Well, I bet if this were a zero mission, Kraid would already be dead. But unfortunately for Scotty, it's a Super Metroid, so he's going to have to deal with the stood-up Kraid. But I'm sure he'll clean this up quickly.
Yeah.
We do go 3 for 4 though on the quick kills, as Christoffel finishes off Kraid as well as Andrew.
Yeah.
Now the Kraid fight can get a little scary. Now Scotty cleaned it up just fine, but it can get a little scary if you're not used to Kraid standing up. So every once in a while, having to deal with the fight in a insert, you might not a bad idea to make sure you know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's all good. Scotty did that on purpose.
Yeah, there you go. He just wanted to show off that he could deal with the stood up Kraid.
Yeah. Next up, we're gonna see Spore Spawn on purpose. Like, why Spore Spawn skip? Why do that?
Yeah, no, we don't need Spore Spawn
really
here.
Slow. That's really, really slow. We don't want that. That'd be like I'm trying to show off Spore Spawn RTA strats or something. Like, I don't even know what our runners would be thinking if they went to Spore Spawn.
Well, they'd be thinking it's like either hundo map instead of hundo items, or maybe all bosses or something weird like that.
Could be, but even in hundo map, you
have to.
Yeah, because you gotta go up above Spore Spawn to get that map.
It's the fault is the crumble blocks. I think you could probably get around it, but there are crumble blocks to fall down that area to get to the super missiles. Okay, and we go down to high jump boots, a lot of people's favorite item. Certainly one of the most useful items in the game. If any of you have ever played a randomizer where you have speed booster, no high jump, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, really spectacular item. One of the things that in this game I'm kind of sad about, and this comes to me because we have Scotty here. If you play the Game Boy advanced versions of Metroid, they give you the spring ball with the high jump boots, but not in this game. So that's something that I think is
Toasty having to go back and kill the Nova here. Ideally, what you want to do, and let's see if I think everybody's already gone through it. You want to kill that before when on the first go around, because then you open up the door, because once you open up a gray flashy door, it stays open. If you don't do that, then you have to wait for him to come all the way around. Now you'll see, like in any % new route, they just use power bombs, and so it's not even a big deal, so don't worry about it. But here we don't have power bombs yet. I should mention there is one other, and we aren't seeing it here. We didn't see it last night. There is one other route divergence you might see throughout this tournament. A few people, I know Zos does early power bombs. I don't think it. I think it's time neutral. From what I understand, it's very time neutral to get those power bombs first. The main reason you would do that is not because of the high jump room, but because you can get the missiles at the crate area, which are problematic for two reasons. One, because they're very easy to forget.
Yes.
And two, because you're just backtracking into an area you just don't want to go back to.
So yeah, there's well, I do that route actually, and there's a couple of really nice things that I find with it. The Kraid missiles, obviously the first one, but they're in Bubble Mountain where Scotty W is. When you come out of Bubble Mountain, you can lay a power bomb and you don't have to go through the bomb maze.
Yep, that's another
also really nice.
Yeah, another small science thing, and French Lightning John pointing out in chat that you can do save a little extra time with the moonfall, but that's a very difficult moonfall to do with that screw attack. So.
Yep.
Okay, as everybody goes and gets their speed booster, so we can go fast.
Yeah, we like that item. Going fast is even in a speed run. Welcome everyone from SpeedGaming to this here, the Super Metroid 100% qualifier round 1 B. So it's the second part of the first round of qualifiers for the 100% tournament.
Okay, and Andrew making his way through the double chamber. A lot of people refer to this as the real worst room in the game. It's not a it's hard to optimize, and it's very easy to fall down on the little platforms there. It can just be very annoying, especially bad if you're doing any kind of run that involves no Varia suit.
Yeah, that room, suitless, it's extremely deadly, and it's really weird and hard to optimize. You hit the nail on the head there.
And of course, picking up the wave. I often call this the most important sequence break of the game. Now, granted, you don't ever have to pick up wave beam to beat this game. Low percent doesn't pick it up, for instance. Right. But if you're thinking about the way the game was intended to be done, you're not supposed to pick that wave beam up until you have grapple, which would force you to go get your power bomb, get your speed booster, to get your ice beam, to go up Red Tower, to get your power bombs, go down to Crocomire to get your grapple beam, and then to come all the way back to wave beam. And we get to circumvent all of that just by doing a little bit of a wall jump and maybe getting hit by a couple spikes.
Good old Nintendo Power Percent. Which, if you're so interested, is a category on our extensions leaderboard.
It is.
You can check that out. Just like you can check out this category. If you are interested in running this, feel free. You can join the Discord. There's lots of people that will help you out, learn this category, and maybe we could see you in one of the upcoming qualifiers.
And Andrew, the first to get into the Crocomire fight. Toasty close behind.
Yeah, so it looks like Scotty is going for that early ice.
Scotty is doing the early ice, so that's really cool. I like to see a little bit of route divergence in a run here.
So yeah, little reminder. We're going to. It's going to look like Scotty is very far ahead of the other runners, but since he is skipping over this Crocomire fight that we see the other three runners currently doing, we're not really going to know how far, if Scotty is ahead, or how far.
Yeah, I believe they'll converge back up again at about the lower Norfair elevator back to Brinstar as they make their way towards X-ray.
Yeah. That when they start to go to X-ray scope, that is the time. Oh, Andrew, just being a little bit too high on that shine spark. Not getting all the way across there.
Yeah, ideally you want to be able to shine spark across into this room. But with speed booster and high jump, you can actually just jump up there and it's just fine. You do need to pick up this power bomb pack in order to do, well, okay, I guess you don't strictly need to do it, because if you really want to do a really tricky stutter 2 or 3 tap or something stupid like that at the bottom, you can. But much easier to pick up the power bombs and just, power bomb the blocks, and you just do whatever kind of short charge or charge you want to do.
Or even slower, you could bomb jump up.
Oh, yeah, you could you are right. You could bomb jump up. Or the other crazy strat you could use, you'll see sometimes in randomizers, is doing the reverse gate glitch on the green gate.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
You could do that. So there are other choices, but they're all slow.
Yes. One thing that we're going to see really cool here is Andrew's screen. He's doing this Indiana Jones
strat.
Strat.
Got it.
That is spectacular to see. Something that you don't see in the early ice route.
You'll see Toasty. Yeah, that was space jump. Toasty, on the other hand, just the easier and safer strat of just shine sparking up to get the missile.
Yep. That is just a little bit slower, but a little bit safer. I like.
Yeah, because it's a bit of a time loss. If you miss on the Indiana Jones, you're not going to die or anything, but you are going to lose more time missing Indiana Jones.
Yep.
Then you're going to lose time getting the missile the first time. As we see Christoffel going for the Indiana Jones, and he also gets it. So awesome.
Nailed it. 2
Indiana Joneses.
Yeah, this is frankly, this is awesome to see. We have Christoffel, hasn't been around for a while, is definitely rusty, but he is in it hanging with these guys.
Absolutely.
This is just awesome. Nice shine spark there with those. One awesome thing about 100% is there are a number of really spectacular shine sparks all throughout the 100% run. Coming up, we're going to have Gauntlet Spark. That one, I think, is frankly,
my favorite.
I think it's the best one in 100%. But here we're going to see Scotty W go for an Ocean Fly. I think it looks like he may have it. Yeah. Oh!
Not quite.
Just bonked on the last frame of the opened door. But we get a half Ocean Fly. We'll see if our other runners want to go for that trick, and we can see the other really cool shine spark. We're going to see much later on when our runners get into Meridia, that full halfy.
Yep. Okay, we're going to point out Scotty going to go ahead and pick up these missiles here. I kind of like to think of this room as Spiky Room of Death Part 2.
Don't
as
forget
long
these
as
missiles.
Yeah, because if you try and get I've seen runs lost. You get this. Try and get this after Fantoon. There was a particular relay where one of the runners forgot to get those missiles and ended up taking a death in. I think it was actually in Spiky Room of Death, but he lost so much energy in getting the missiles there that he couldn't survive the Spiky Room of Death. So definitely one of the most important things in 100% is to get those missiles ahead of time, especially if you're doing the early ice, because this is essentially an any percent Fantoon fight, minus the fact that we have a ton of missiles. Because the difference between the 49 that Scotty has right now and the at most 20 maybe you're going to have in an any percent round is actually pretty significant.
15,
I find
15,
even
20.
15 to 20 is very significant. Low percent getting only 10 is just crazy.
Yeah. Well, those guys that want to run low percent, they're
good.
Yeah, they're very good. All right, that was a nice Doppler there by C. Scotty.
You'll see a lot more
Doppler.
Dopplering. Yeah, you'll see a lot more Dopplering, I think, in Hundo. In any percent, because you most likely only have charge and wave. You don't have to menu if you want to do X factors. Although you'll notice Christoffel, I don't know if he skipped space or if he turned it off. I didn't see that. Looks like he's only using wave right now, so he's probably going to go for some X factors, would be my guess.
He's turned it off. Very nicely done there. I think of a 3-round there by C Scotty W.
Nothing wrong with 3-round. 3-round is very good.
No, 3-round is right where you want to be. The 2-round is the mark of the absolute expert. But a 3-round's, you know, is fantastic. So our other 3 runners here coming up the red tower. They're going to want to pick up the power bombs here just off to the side. Christoffolo going to that room. Andrew has already picked them up. And Toasty picking up those alpha power bombs, so he'll be coming up here to pick up these other power bombs shortly. So there's a really cool room coming up at the top of the wreck ship here, the attic.
Yep.
There's a couple of different strats that runners can use to get through the attic. I don't know, what do you think we're going to be seeing here?
I think we're going to see some speed booster strats here. There's some really nice speed booster strats you can use. And there's one that, if we get to see it, it's really cool, where they do a bit of a speed keep. So they don't actually use any of their health up on an actual Shine Spark. Yeah,
that one, I'll tell you, is my personal favorite. But yeah, the other strat, major strat that I was thinking of was also laying the power bomb there. Something that we can see. All right, Scotty coming up on the spiky room of death.
89 health, and those reserve tanks are not going to help him.
Nope. These platforms will do 100 damage to Scotty, and looks like he got through. No problem.
All right, nicely done. And he'll be fine now because he's just about to pick up an E-tank. But actually, I shouldn't say that quite yet. This room, because he doesn't have the early grapple beam. This is one of the places where it is... not having that grapple beam kind of hurts you. He's going to have to do... There's a couple ways to do this. You can do this with a bomb jump. You can do... And if you take your if you don't have high jump boots on, if you want to turn those off, you can jump over across. With high jump boots, you're going to bonk your head unless you're very precise on the controls. But he does just fine getting the bomb jump over there, gets the E-tank, and so now he's fine.
Yeah, that's actually the way I do it. Is I turn off my high jump boots. That is definitely slower and not something that an early ice route will... it will guaranteed lose me all that time just for pausing there. But it is very, very consistent. And it really, really nicely done by Scotty there, getting across that spiky room of death. That is the room that we are worried about. Any one of our runners can die in that room, and that will end their run. And there are a lot more runners in this race than just the 4 we're seeing on screen here. I think we said earlier that we have about 18 runners in this race. Sadly, we cannot feature them all. But there's that speed keep by Scotty.
Didn't quite get all of it, but just had a little bit to clean up. And of course, he opened the door, so now it won't have to do it again. But he does have to go get what the missile here in what I like to call the most annoying room of the game.
Yeah, the work robot room. Nobody's favorite. But he's clipping through these work robots, no problem. Really, really nice. If you take a damage off the sparks, and you just kind of turn around, you can just walk right through them, as long as they're traveling to the left for whatever reason. If they're traveling right, can't clip through them.
Stoffel having a little bit of trouble in his Fantoon fight. Down to 4 health. Don't know what he's got in his reserves. We're about to find out.
Ooh, 37.
Not a lot.
Nope.
You can take 2 hits at this point and barely survive.
There's one. Okay. He's got some energy.
He can farm a little bit here.
All right. Oh man, we do not want to see anyone die.
Yeah, I mean this is the place where, if your run is gonna be lost to a death, it is gonna happen in the wreck ship, either in the Fantoon fight or in Spiky Room of Death. A route that I don't know that anybody actually has played with or run at all, but it is. I have thought, in theory, there's no reason you couldn't do the Brinstar cleanup before going to Fantoon. So any of you that maybe are saying, "Oh, well, Hundo looks really easy in terms of not dying, except this one spot looks really bad," you might consider trying to route an early Brinstar cleanup, because you can get all those items that we're about to see these guys get after they finish the wreck ship ahead of the wreck ship, and then you have a ton of E-tanks, and it makes it much safer
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
thing to do.
the only thing with routing it that way a little bit, you'd have to go back up the red tower. So it puts you a little bit further away from your.
Nope. You would just go down Red Tower just like you already do. You pick up the stuff there, because you'd have power bombs to get all the stuff in Pink Bryn and Green Bryn and all that stuff.
To get up the wreck ship.
To get to wreck ship, yeah, absolutely.
Down.
It's actually casually. It's the way I did it. But I wasn't exactly trying to optimize my route or anything. I was just trying to get all the items and not die. That was also a long time ago. But it'd be interesting to see what the actual time loss of that would be compared to what we already do. You'd lose time on waterway because you wouldn't have gravity suit. There's a little bit of extra backtracking you do, but it would be an interesting, just a concept, just to see how that would work out.
Yeah, so it's possible. There's lots of different routes, folks. You can do all kinds of things. So if you're, if you're thinking about running this, you're on the edge. There's lots of things. And again, you can join our Discord. We have a wiki page. It's very comprehensive, and you can just talk to some of the folks in the community, and they'll help you out, figure it out. And
absolutely, very good community we have here. And notice Christoffel and Toasty neck and neck as they go to pick up that wreck ship E-tank. Andrew a little bit ahead in the attic right now. It's like he's going to go for the speed keep, and he gets it. That's the way to do it. And he'll go get his worker robot. Scotty, of course, looking a little bit ahead, but he hasn't done Crocomire yet. Finishing up the wreck ship cleanup here, or finishing up the criteria cleanup down here in the ocean. He'll be heading over to get his gauntlet E-tank and criteria power bombs in just a second.
Yeah, and we're going to see that gauntlet spark that we mentioned a little bit earlier. I'm telling you, the best spark in the game.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. The one thing I worry about here with Christofalo is if he gets a little tilted there after that Fantoon fight. Hopefully, since he's got, the Brinstar cleanup coming up, he can, kind of get into a spot where he's just,
Well, Christoffel was predicting doom and gloom in our chat here.
Yeah,
so unfortunately exactly. That did not come true. And once you get past this little bit, it's the odds of dying in a hundo run past the wreck ship. It just doesn't happen.
You'd have to really do something crazy.
It would have to be something like a really bad chain damage Dragon or something. It can happen, but it'd be so rare.
Have you taken acid bath in the gauntlet here? And there it is. We're almost missing it. Scotty doing that gauntlet spark.
There it is.
Really, really nice. You set that up with a wraparound shot up at the top there. Oh, and Scotty's going for the spark on the backside of gauntlet.
Oh, this is such a cool spark if you can get it.
Mm-hmm. This really tight on the timing for this. Oh, he just missed it.
Just missed. That's a really hard one. We saw Zenny doing that yesterday, so you'll probably get to see it again at some point. But not a lot of people even go for it, let alone get it. So.
Well, it's a stutter 3 tap, something like that. Really, really tight.
Yeah, stupid tight.
It's oh no!
Oh no! Oh, Scotty, no! Okay, well, I'm a little surprised he didn't pick up the one missile.
Yeah.
What he'll do now? So now he's gonna look even further ahead than he was looking. He'll have to come back and get that at the very end. One of the things he did that you'll probably notice is you can shoot the safe way to do that is to shoot out the top blocks, and then there's a block that you can just stand on and shoot down, and then you'll always, every time, go down both sides. Looks like he got the jump without the block, which is faster.
Mm-hmm.
But he looks like he may have held a little bit to the side, a little bit to the left, and then he ended up veering completely to the left. A little surprised he didn't just go ahead and grab the one missile, because, he's gonna
Yeah.
have to come back regardless. Grab the one missile now. You might as well then the next time you go through, you don't even have to think about it. You just go down the right side and you're fine.
Yep.
But it looks like he's just gonna go for it a second time. Just
Yeah, it was. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, the one good thing is when he goes back around, he will have space jump and screw attack, which is really fast to get through those rooms.
Yeah, it was his turnarounds that cost him.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to go. He was going for the quick falls,
Yep.
which is definitely the fastest way to get down through them. And in the turnarounds, he just got caught a little bit off
Yep.
to the left, and so yeah, I'm
It
surprised
happens.
he didn't pick up the one as well. Because strategically, you pick it up, you're gonna have to wait for the fanfare anyway.
Yep.
So you might as well.
And the power bombs, the the room that was the bane of the first playthrough with the Edakuns showing you how to wall jump, but not making it obvious how to do it.
Oh yeah.
The real problem is they put a save room down there. I think that was rotten.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the 101st fanfare.
Yep.
There. All right, and no Decora for Scotty. Yeah, skipping over those the Decora pit there.
Andrew gonna get his criteria power bomb, so we're gonna get a chance to see that shine spark again. As Christoffel and Toasty are half a fanfare apart with that reserve tank pickup. Maybe 2/3 of a fanfare. You see Andrew setting up for the wraparound shot that's gonna open the door on the other side through a copy of the room. Let's see, and there's that shine spark.
Yeah.
Best shine spark of the game.
Yeah, and we're gonna get to see that at least 2 more times. So it's just, I mean, that's just awesome. The one thing with that though is our runners do want to have a specific amount of energy coming out of the wrecked ship, otherwise they're not going to be able to do it. Christofalo actually looking really low on his energy, does not have enough.
So what he'll do, he'll save it. He'll most likely refill the ship.
Yeah.
That's what most runners will do in that situation. Obviously that's a bit of a time loss, but it's better to refill the ship. And here you see Andrew doing this the safe way, where you actually shoot the blocks on top and leave the one, and he's going to get both missiles.
It's a 15-second time loss. I was talking to Desi, talk about old runners, and he was telling me, he's like, no, you don't actually want to do this. This refill here, it's 15 seconds, and if you come back when you're going to do it at Torian, it's much faster as compared to doing this at this point in time. So basically, what he was recommending was you just get the criteria power bomb and you come and do gauntlet later on. Because of the ship's effective time loss, so that refill there. You're gonna go pick up E-tanks later on. So like literally the first item you're gonna go pick up in a little bit here in that Brinstar cleanup. And we've already seen Scotty pick it up as an E-tank, so you're still in no risk of dying. But we're about to see Andrew pick up this E-tank. But yeah, he just says that was his recommendation. I don't know. I never timed it. I'm sure it's faster.
You see Christoffel and Toasty back-to-back shine sparks.
Yeah.
That seemingly of the restreamers seems to be the race to watch for now, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. The only thing with that though is that it's real easy to forget to go back to the gauntlet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. So hopefully Scotty has it on his mind that he does need to get, and you do need to get 100% item. Now, if you save somewhere, you are allowed to go back to a save to go back and get your items. But if you finish and it's not 100%, then the run doesn't count. Not for the tournament and not for any kind of PB run. If you're looking for that, got to get that 100%. And got to wait for that confirmation on the credits. So we'll see all the credits to the end.
Yep. Christofalo and Toasty taking it a little bit slower there in the back of Gauntlet here to make sure they pick up both of those missile packs. So if you're kind of worried about that, you don't have to do those quick falls. You don't have to. You can take it a little bit slower, just like those guys did, and ensure that you get both at the same time. So.
Okay, so now we're going to get to the point where Scotty has. Oh no, we're going into Meridia. Open that tube. Meridia is an interesting section. It's one of the worst areas to route. Glad somebody else did that for us. Scotty with a nice that short charge he did. I want to say it's a stutter 2. There's 3 ways. Yeah, there's 3 ways to get that missile that he just got. He can that area that he just ran over right now. You could do it. You could do just a regular 2-tap. It's probably the easiest way to do it. One of the hardest ways to do it is what I think is the intended way to do it is to run from the room to the right and get the shine spark, charge the shine spark, get in the right spot and jump up.
Yeah, it's really weird because if you can fall off the edge there and then you don't get your shine spark. So it's interesting that the developers kind of set that up like that, where you have to do it in that way. I think that Main Street missiles, when I was trying to figure out back when I first got this game, and I was trying to figure out how to collect 100% items.
Same.
I could, that was the one that gave me fits.
It was definitely the last. I don't know what was the last item I found. And let me be clear, I found all the items myself. I played this game when it came out, so there was no game FAQs to go look at to try and figure out where everything was. Or if there was, I certainly didn't have access to it.
It was you and your buddies.
Yep.
Or Nintendo Power, which didn't cover it.
Yep. So it was definitely the last item I got, but it was not the last item I found.
Yeah, that could be like Waterway, something like that.
I'm guessing either the Mama Turtle missiles or maybe the Crumble Tower.
Those are
pretty well hidden.
Yeah, that's true. But oddly
At least
enough,
for me.
I found I don't know how, but I found those Mama Turtle missiles. So those were definitely not the last item that I found. It's weird. Because people say, well, you can't like X-ray and get them, but there actually is a spot where you can X-ray and they'll show up, and I think that's how I found them.
Yeah, and it looks a little bit different in that spot, so it's not impossible to think that you might shoot there. But yeah, it's but the mainstream missiles definitely the last ones I picked up for sure, and that's probably true for a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, they're just tricky to. It's tricky to know how. Like you can see, oh, it's a speed booster block. Well, how do I get that? Exactly. There's no way to charge up a shine spark. This room is too short, right? Like, and then even if you go into the other room, you probably are just like, oh, maybe I go through here. And there's some other way, right? You're just not thinking about it. So it's tricky. Here we're gonna see Scotty W coming up on Bot Woon. Bot Woon, tricky boss here, has a terrible hitbox. What else about Bot Woon?
Yeah, that's the big thing. In here we don't have no worries about it though, because you can always just stand in the corner and charge beam Bot Woon to death, and this is. But usually you start with an X Factor here. Looks like only 3 of the particles hit. So the last one is flying around. The problem with X Factors, we didn't talk about this in Fantoon, but that's an issue there too, is when there's still a particle running around, you can't shoot.
Yep.
So he had to wait for that last particle to either disappear or hit something. And it looks like he ended up with a 2-round, which is pretty good when you miss that one particle.
Yeah, it's really good. And Scotty there, not skipping over that Bot Woon E-Tank there for the moment. There are 3 opportunities to get that being the first. Most of the time runners pick it up on the second or the third.
Yeah, it's one of those very small route diversions you'll see in Hundo. Very few people pick it up on the first pass. I think you're right. Most people like it on the second pass. I know for me, picking something up a little bit earlier so you know you have it, you don't have to worry about it later, is always a good thing. There's also a nice dual shine sparks from Christoffel and Toasty there on the bottom.
Yeah, they are in sync. So with that E-Tank, I actually look at my energy and I pick it up on the second or the third, depending on when I think I need that refill.
Yeah, I mean that is a very valid way to do it. Some people may choose not to take that approach just because they want to have it be the same every time. It's creatures of habit.
Yeah, no, and that's that's really understandable because there is what you were saying. There's weight behind knowing that you have picked up the item, right? Like this
Yep.
is you must get 100%. So we're going to sit here through all the credits and verify that all of our runners have picked up 100%. And if they don't pick up 100%, their run doesn't count. Now they do have opportunity if they have a save to go back and fix it, but that means more time to their run.
Yeah,
So
well, and if even just taking the save adds time to your run, so in a qualifying situation, I could see if if you're playing when we get to the 1v1 part of the tournament, if you feel like the runners are allowed to watch the restream. If you feel like they're way ahead of their opponent, yeah, you take a save or go to the ship at the end and see that you have all the items and take that refill or whatever, and that makes a lot of sense. But in a qualifying situation, you don't know exactly what time you need, especially in this first round. I imagine that. I guess there's two ways you could think about these qualifiers. Is Scotty gets his spark suit there, very nicely done. I think there's two ways you could think about it. You could say, well, I'm going to play it safe the first time and just make sure I get a time, and then I can just go for everything in later qualifying rounds. Or you could say, you know what, I'm just going to go all at it in the first round. See if I can get something really good, and then if I end up in the fourth qualifying round still wanting to get a better time, or if I'm not happy, or if still not quite in the tournament, then maybe I play it a little safer just to make sure I get in the tournament. So.
Yep. Yeah, and that's part of the strategy of the qualifying rounds, and we're going to see how our runners attack these qualifiers, and it'll be really interesting.
Well, in particular, I'd say Scotty is definitely going all out for it, which unfortunately backfired a little bit for him. But I think even with the time loss he's going to have with the gauntlet mishap, I think he's going to put up a good enough time to at least guarantee him a spot, and then he might just again go all out in future runs just to see if he can improve upon it.
Yeah, try to get a better ranking. Yeah, Dragon did get a little bit away from Scotty, and see, he has done this early ice, so that meant he had to do that speed booster kill. So it's one of those things. We're gonna see each of our runners in a little bit here. Andrew being the first one approach Dragon. We'll see how they want to go ahead and kill Dragon. Basically, there are three options. There's the option we saw Scotty do, which is the speed booster kill. I expect Andrew to do the same thing. There's the regular, you can pound away with missiles and charge shots. Oh, Andrew getting a goop spark there instead of the halfy or full halfy. And there's the third way, which is full kill. So it'd be interesting to see if any of our runners, either Toasty or Christofalo, use that grapple kill.
Yeah, and if you can do the grapple kill in particular has a quick version that if you can do that optimally I believe it's the second fastest way. I think what they call the 2 in blue shine spark kill is the and very nicely done on that ice clip. Blink and you miss it. That is so nicely done. But yeah, so the 2 in blue I think is supposed to be the fastest if you can do it optimally. But next to that would be the quick grapple kill, and then of course because the regular grapple kill. Very, very slow. You have to wait for Dragon to get all the way up there. I know I personally liked, if I'm using grapple to kill Dragon, I personally like to damage her down a little bit to save a little bit of time when I actually get the grapple part of it. So, by using supers or charge beam or whatever beam I have. Since I'm more of a randomizer run, I never quite know what I'm going to have when I go into this fight.
Yeah. When I do 100%, I do the I do low ice, so that speed booster kill just gives me fits. So I end up doing the slowest of the slow methods, which really kind of sucks. But all right, there is a really nice speed booster kill by Andrew on Dragon, kind of going backwards through, but getting that blue suit echoes, trying to go for that spark suit here. All right, just resetting to the blue echo. So he's not going to be able to push run here, but he will be able to get the first half.
It's a big deal with that space jump because he'll be able to get out pretty easily with that.
Yep.
You really that in 80% new route where you don't pick up the space jump.
Yeah.
Very important to get that spark suit. Very, very useful to not have to worry about hitting that, whether you hit that run button or not, to get out of Dragon's room.
Yeah. All right, here he's going to set it off and reverse
There it
that.
goes.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Scotty about to pick up his plasma beam, and then we have again Christoffel and Toasty, only a room apart here, in the race to watch, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, and with Toasty not having that 100% time on the leaderboards, you know, we kind of weren't sure what to expect. He's got a really reasonable any percent time.
Yep.
So you know, we expected a decent show out of him for 100%, and you know, he's putting it on.
Yeah, honestly, the thing that would concern me most with Toasty is with the lack of experience in Hundo, would be he'd be the most likely that we're gonna get to the end and have that 99% instead of 100%. So that would be my biggest concern.
That would
for
be
him.
that'd be devastating. Yeah, and there's a number of tricky rooms that you know.
I mean, this one he's picking up right here. It's this room right here, and if I'm not mistaken, this is one of the rooms where you don't see the dot.
Yes. Yeah, there's no dot up there. The missiles in the precious room there. Just yeah. There's where else? You could miss watering hole. You could miss Mickey Mouse missiles. You could miss
the speed booster missile is a common one. Cosine room, which he did get.
Work robot room. Sometimes you can miss that.
Yeah, well, that's the one that's gonna. That's the one where if you're like a minute ahead of your PB, you might be. That might be the one you missed.
Yeah, we talked about it with. I know, and we talked about it with that missiles in the wrecked ship off to the left there. Christoffolo using the grapple kill, and it looks like Toasty is setting up for a quick grapple here as well.
Yeah, he got the quick kill, and on the right side, that is a much more difficult quick kill than getting on the left side. So very nicely done.
Yeah, Dragon not playing nice with Toasty, but he nailing the grapple kill.
Okay, now we see Scotty getting the aqueduct missile and super missile. This is another item that you've got 3 shots of getting. The slowest would be to getting it the first time. I think it's maybe I don't know if it's faster to get it on the 3rd try through, but on the 3rd try through, you can use the blue bomber strat because you'll have spring ball. That's a lot of runners will take it. We'll go for it at that point just to show off that strat. It's a very neat strat, but it's a tricky one with a tricky tap setup.
Yeah, so it's funny that you say that, right? That in the last 100% tournament, it was about 4 years ago. That was the new tech, and I got the opportunity to race against Oats and Goats, and he did that, and he was on fire. Goes through, boom, does that. Blue bomber, and there is a danger with that.
There is.
Because in the very next race, he did that and then got locked in between the 2 blocks.
And that is the danger that can happen.
Yeah. So you know that while it is faster, you know you can soft lock yourself in, and then your run is dead. Because you're not going to be able to get out in between there. Oats and Goats, a runner who we hope to see here somewhere in these qualifiers.
Yeah, hopefully, getting those top runners, getting Oats and Behemoth and Zost out here, that would be really awesome. But either way, we're gonna have a good tournament. There's a lot of good Super Metroid runners out there.
I mean, we saw Kip last night. We
Kip
saw
and Sloters and
Zenny and
Zenny
Sloters. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and Sephi / Antinomy
Mm-hmm.
coming out of retirement for a little bit too. So we got some. That was a very good set of runners we had
And
last
there are
night.
absolutely no slouches in this race this morning, right? We have, of course, the 4 featured runners here. Also, we have Hoda Ruby running in the race this morning, right? Like, I
Yep.
mean, there's a
One of the
lot of
early
really
one of the early world record holders. So
yeah. Next up, we need is Desi. Get him in on this. Talk about early world record holders.
And here we go with Toasty and Christoswell both waiting on Shack Tool. This is the reason why people don't pick up Spring Ball in any percent. Well, it's not the only reason why you don't pick up Spring Ball in any percent, but it's certainly a big part of it.
It's out of the way, and this. This is what angers me about Spring Ball, because we're going to be seeing Spring Ball used in tons of very subtle ways, and I think it is frankly the most fantastic item in the game. Like if you start to pay attention a little bit to Scotty as he's in some of these more advanced areas, and has the Spring Ball, but you're just going to see it. He's going to be moving through in the Morph Ball and jumping through. We'll see the speed keeps that we saw or we talked about a little bit earlier. There's just a lot of really cool stuff that you can do with this item.
Yeah, my friend and fellow organizer and top runner Sloters, in fact, had somebody make him a ROM hack that starts you with Spring Ball.
Yeah.
Just to be able to use it for an entire run. So a lot to be said for that Spring Ball.
Yeah, it's a spectacular item. So one cool thing is Scotty's coming up on Golden Chorizo, and a lot of runners will actually use Andrew using the Spring Ball right there. A lot of runners will use the Spring Ball to have them basically get across those crumble blocks to guarantee that they get the missiles here. And we'll see if Scotty does that.
You want to use Spring Ball or you want to use Space Jump. You do not want to land. Yeah, so you use Space Jump the way he did, or you can go ahead and use Spring Ball. Spring Ball is a little bit safer. I have seen it screwed up. I have no idea how. The only thing I can think of is what's weird about Spring Ball, and I don't understand why it happens for Spring Ball and not for regular jumping. But the game was made such that if you hold jump and you have Spring Ball, you just keep jumping. And anytime you're dealing with crumble blocks, that makes crumble blocks much easier to deal with. Whereas if you're jumping regularly, you hold jump and you jump once and that's it.
That's it, yeah.
So, and we're gonna make quick work of Golden Chorizo because that full beam combination with that plasma just makes mincemeat out of him.
Yeah. Plus, what we saw Scotty do there is there's actually a safe zone off to the right of the background column there, just kind of underneath Golden Chorizo's leg, and Golden Chorizo just can't hurt you ever. I'm sure if you played this casually when you were younger, Golden Chorizo gave you fits.
I don't think. I mean, even with supers, it's not that hard a fight. It just means you don't have any supers left when you're done with it. But yeah, I mean, it is a difficult fight in some situations that come up. Again, mostly in randomizer.
Randomizer, one of my favorite ways to play.
RBO, some of the strats for RBO for doing Golden Chorizo are pretty wild. Having to farm at the same time as fighting him because you're constantly losing energy. We do have. I will point out this. So Scotty and Lower Norfair, Andrew on his way down there, Christopher Toasty finishing up Meridia. Lower Norfair is my favorite part of the game, in part because in varying categories, it's such a different. The run in Lower Norfair, I feel like, is more different depending on what category you're playing, or in a randomizer setting of what item set you have, than it is in any other. Now in Hundo, we get the super easy, let's just blow through everything version of Lower Norfair because we have Spear Attack and Space Jump and Plasma Beam. It's just it's just a fun romp through. If you watch somebody do low percent ice, it's a whole different ball game. and just you have to be careful, and you got to make sure you're not getting hit by enemies. Here you can take all sorts of damage if you want to, because you have bazillion E-tanks and reserves and lots of ammo. It's just easy to just blow on through. And then of course you have the in-between routes where you have like something like 80%, where you have decent and decent items, and maybe you have plasma if you're doing old route, maybe you don't. But certainly not as easily able to blow through it as in Hundo. So it's definitely my favorite part of the game.
Yeah, the low percent, those are always edge of your seat action.
Yeah.
We got to see low percent in the multi-category tournament.
We did. We saw quite a bit of low percent, which was really fun.
Yeah. So if you're looking to see how that goes, you can check out some of the VODs for that multi-category tournament.
It looks like Christophel's taking a little bit of a lead here. He's getting those Kraid missiles now. There's 2 opportunities to get these Kraid missiles as Scotty starts his Ridley fight. You can get it now or on your way out of Norfolk. I think most people get it on their way in. I don't think there's any time difference. I think it's completely time neutral. But again, it's the did I pick up the item?
Yeah, that's exactly.
It was a little muscle memory there, because I thought maybe for a second he thought he's forgotten the item, but I don't think he did. He's got the right number of E-tanks, so I think that was just a little bit of muscle memory from leaving the Kraid the normal way, as Scotty makes quick work of Ridley. Andrew about to drain the acid, and Toasty just a little bit behind of Christoffel now, getting that Kraid missile himself.
Yep. Yeah, and that's exactly what it is with picking up that missile ahead of time. Do I have the item?
Yeah.
There's another one of those easy to forget items. You get a 99%. That's one of the potential culprits.
Yeah, absolutely is. Check there first.
Yeah, there's Andrew making use of that spring ball. We talked about it. Just hold jump, be in spring ball, and you can't fall down. All right, looks like he's got a good setup, and there he is, right in the right spot, and it's going to be 8 shots, and Golden Trizo just can't hurt Andrew. Really cool thing here is that the plasma beam, it penetrates enemies, so it actually double hits.
If you kneel down, if you kneel down during the fight, the plasma beam will double hit, which makes it really interesting. So Behemoth, who of course has the world record in this category, does not have an angled down map. So if you watch him do that fight, he can't crouch and shoot up at the same time, because the way you do that is by holding your angle up and your angle down button at the same time while you crouch. But so what he does is he'll jump up and shoot down to get double hits that way. It's kind of a neat variant of what you're used to seeing on that fight.
Yeah, there is oddly enough a time when Golden Trizo is jumping, and I don't remember if it's up or down, where it may be up on the way up. Where your shot only hits once.
Yeah, when he's jumping up, that's when the plasma is going to have the opportunity to hit him twice, because he'll hit it lower and then he'll move up and then they'll hit him again. Yeah.
Maybe it's the way down then. That it only hits once.
Yeah,
and
it's only going to hit once on the way down. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. In general, with plasma, you want to if you want to kill something quickly, you want to shoot it while it's moving away from you, because that's when it's got the opportunity to get hit twice. If you're just, which gets really tricky if you're trying to freeze things on purpose with plasma beam, you want it to be coming towards you so you don't double hit it.
Yeah. So Andrew, laying a power bomb there, a small optimization. What that does is it clears out the sounds in that room there, and that allows the next room to kind of switch and load into memory a little bit faster. All right, Scotty picking up the Franker Z missiles here. So get your Franker Z's in chat, folks. Another one of those easy to forget missile packs. Just right off to the side.
Like you watch the way Andrew does the metal pirates there. So you
Yeah.
saw how with the charge beam, he ran towards the one metal pirate while it was moving away from him and got 2 shots off. And it's only 2 shots to kill one of those things if you're using the full beam combo with charge.
Yeah, really, really nice. He was able to just kind of slam right through them. All right, there is Golden Chorizo down for Cristofalo, and here is Ridley for Andrew. Meanwhile, Toasty coming up on the Golden Chorizo. So I think it's safe to say at this point, Scotty does have a bit of a lead on our other runners.
Yep. We won't know how big until he gets to Turin, because he's still, not only does he have to go fight Crocomire now, he has to go back to the Gauntlet and get those missiles that he didn't get the first time through.
Yeah, that's actually true. Yeah, so Andrew could be pretty close to Scotty, because he does have to go fight Crocomire. But Crocomire, I mean, we're gonna see with the full beam combo. Crocomire is
blinking, you'll miss him.
Yeah, not much there. We saw last night Zenny do all of the swag in that Crocomire fight.
Oh yeah, Zenny's Crocomire fight is something to behold.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think we're gonna see quite that kind of swag here from Scotty. But maybe he'll surprise us. We'll see.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see. Here. You can see the kind of the contrast here with this between the Crocomire fights of the low percent ice, or the early ice versus the
low percent ice doesn't
come down.
Crocomire low percent ice, no. You can't pick up any of the items though. Unless you're gonna decide to make that. I mean, I suppose you could pick up the E-tank and make that be your third E-tank. But
it's a new route. Yeah, you got to fight Crocomire for the third E-tank.
There you go.
I'm working on it. It's a work in progress.
But there are a lot of things that make this faster. Not just the fight itself. Being able to one-shot Crocomire is a big part of it. But now he's just gonna be able to just space jump all over the place and get in the grapple with the space jump and be able to get the missiles there with space jump instead of having to do the Indiana Jones strat. So
really nice. Andrew getting the damage boost off of the Fire Flea and onto the top of the frozen Fire Flea that he set up a little bit earlier. Yeah, you can see.
And there's that Shine Spark. Actually, he doesn't even do the space jump, but he does the Shine Spark instead. Not sure which is actually faster in this situation, just because the you always would think, well, the Shine Spark's got to be faster, right? Well, there is the crash animation.
Yeah.
You have to take into account anytime you do a Shine Spark, so it may not actually. It might be fairly time neutral. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Andrew going for a Hodarubi special there in the Hodarubi room and not quite getting it. Didn't bonked off of the platform there.
Okay. On the other hand, if you don't quite space jump all the way to the grapple beam, you now lose time compared to just doing the speed jump. But Scotty picks up his grapple beam. He'll be able to just space jump over to the pantry missiles over here.
Mm-hmm. All right, and here is Toasty coming in on the Ridley fight, while Cristofalo is just kind of pounding away. Really, I think should be down. Yes, and there Ridley picks Cristofalo up. Everybody's favorite part of the game when Ridley starts exploding.
Yeah, one of the things that makes Ridley such a hard boss for new players is this mechanism where if he doesn't grab you when he's dead, as we see Toasty get picked up and Ridley exploding. It takes a certain number of swoops before he'll just spontaneously combust, and it makes it really hard to figure out just how much you need to pump into him when you're playing this on your own to kill him, because he's dead, but you don't know it. You just gotta wait for it.
Yeah, isn't there like some RNG involved in that too?
Yeah, probably.
Which makes it even worse. Right?
Yeah, I believe so, because it really comes down to him getting into that swoop state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Plus, managing Ridley's AI is also pretty tricky. There's a number of things that you would naturally want to do that actually just make fighting Ridley worse. Like spin jumping, for example.
Yeah. Well, Ridley's AI is fairly controllable. It's not 100% controllable. There's a lot of things you can do to manipulate him. Unlike, say, Phantoon, where it's just pure RNG. There's nothing you do to promise that you'll get a fast pattern. At least nothing that anybody's found yet.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was referring to about managing the AI. So, just you can kind of manipulate him into doing some things that you will maybe. If you look at we talked about this a little bit before, but if you look at fights from like Zosti or Behemoth or Zenny or anybody like that, it just looks like they make Ridley do what they want him to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, we see Scotty in the X-ray room, and Fuzda or Andrew not that far behind, and we do have to remember that Scotty still needs to go back and get those Gauntlet missiles.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see if he plays it a little safer this time, because the time loss at this point it is a time loss, but you're going above where you're going. You're not going to have to backtrack, so to speak. You're going to have space jump and screw attack. You just fly through those rooms. But if he misses one of those missiles on the second go through, then it's just absolute disaster. Which is why I think we both thought maybe just picking up the one missile on the first pass through, and just that way you're only worrying about one missile. You're not worrying about the other.
Yeah, exactly. You're kind of guaranteeing that the second pass will be inconsequential as far as the time loss.
Yeah, and considering he was on the left side of the room, you don't even have to jump. Just shoot the box out and just walk. Fall down.
Yep.
So you don't have to even worry about it. Just walk down. So is he gonna go for?
No.
No.
No. Zenny went for that last night, but.
Versus Slinky, I'm not sure I can describe it if you haven't seen it before. It's one of the more fun strats. Very few people have gotten it in actual runs.
I made an attempt to describe it last night.
Yeah, but it doesn't lose you time if you fail it, so most people are just going to go for it anyway. So.
Yep. Even I go for it, even though we'll never get it. But yeah, even getting a part of it just looks spectacular.
It does.
So. But yeah, absolutely very difficult. Yeah, Andrew kind of getting the he unfortunately didn't open the gate, but he got the mock ball there. So wait a minute, what? Okay, Andrew going a little bit too far there, went back into Big Pink instead of over here into Retro Brinstar. Yeah, probably just one of those maybe like a randomizer mistake or something like that. Just one of those. I got my momentum. I'm going. Oh wait, I went just a little too far.
Yeah. Yep. It can happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is. I'm gonna be really curious to see where these two runners are at as they enter Turian, because the Scotty having to pick up that extra E-tank. Christoffel opening a bit of a lead over Toasty here.
Yeah, I mean, we see them here high-fiving, right? Like, they are in the same room. See, Scotty W is coming out, and Andrew is on his way in here, going to be going up to the Billy Mays room to pick up the 2 missile packs up there. So it'll be really interesting to see when we get to Torian. Oh, for a second there, I thought Christofalo was gonna save.
That would be an odd location to save at. That save room is actually a little tricky to get through.
It is.
It's just
really
right in the way.
is.
I mean, I'm trying to think. That's the one save room that you kind of get stuck going through, whether you're going to save or not.
Yeah, well, and I can see why the developers, they put that there. It's very, very convenient if you are playing this game casually. But it's super inconvenient if you want to go fast through these rooms.
Okay, Scott again about to do one of my favorite strats. Going to go ahead and get these criteria supers. So what he's going to do is he's going to charge and run over those Puyos or Boyons, whatever those things are, and be able to charge his Shine Spark at the same time. And he gets it very nicely. And pick up this last pack of super missiles.
Yeah, those Booyons, they can really, really be annoying. To get, especially when you're like, sometimes what we'll see is runners freeze them ahead of time and then go back and take their pick up their Shine Spark charge, and that slower but guarantees them to get through the Booyons.
Yeah, you can actually, with Wave and Plasma and Ice, you can actually crouch down and just fire one shot and it'll just freeze them all. But that's slower than what we saw Scotty doing.
Yeah,
Scotty
absolutely.
picking up what is hopefully his last item. We're going to assume that he has not skipped anything.
Yeah, he's going to have to go back to that gauntlet, but...
That's right. That's not his last one. He's got 2 more. And he's going back. Okay, there we go.
Should be the last item. It's got all the E-tanks.
Yeah, it should be the last item, but it's not because he's going to go ahead and get those back of Gauntlet missiles.
Yep. All right, looks like Scotty's going to set up for Gauntlet Spark again.
Yeah, I don't like this. The reason you use this before, you do this. The reason you do this in the early part, well, you don't have spaceship or screw attack at this point. Yep. Plus, you're right there. You just picked up the power bombs. I don't think it's faster to go back and set that up. As cool as it is to see a 5th version of the best Shine Spark of the game, I think it's got to be faster to just space jump through it at this point.
Yeah, so you noticed he also switched beams from Plasma to Spazer.
Yep.
So like that. I don't know.
You can still you do that because you can do the wraparound shot with Plasma.
No,
but it's a different location.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Oh, and he goes for the not say he doesn't play it safe the second time, but this time he gets it. So very, very fortunately he does get the drop correctly this time and does not have to go through Gauntlet again.
Yeah, well, see, but he paused to do that, right? And that,
that's a time loss.
That's a time loss. So,
So that's additional to the time loss from already, just setting up the Shine Spark instead of just space jumping. Space jump screw attack just so powerful in rooms like that.
Oh yeah, and we see that Andrew indeed gets to the Golden 4 statue first. But here is C Scotty W hot on Andrew's heels. So
Andrew's leaving or the statue finishing its explosion as Scotty's statue starts it.
Yeah. All of these runners are really relatively close here. Christofalo not too far behind. Going to have just a couple more items to pick up. And Toasty in the same room as Christofalo on his way in instead of on his way out. So this is pretty close. And there are more runners in this race than what we see here on screen, folks. So there could be somebody else who's slightly more advanced. We don't know yet. We'll see.
Yeah, and we're not gonna if somebody finishes ahead of these guys, we're not gonna talk about it until after at least our first runner finishes. We do have the SRL chat open to see, and we will let you know who is finished when we're done.
Yep.
Please in chat, please do not spoil anything in chat. Thank you. People don't want to be spoiled with that kind of thing. And thank you to our chat mods for taking care of that.
I must have missed something. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that Shine Spark there by Christofalo. We see that again. That's all. Interesting, right? If you crouch there, you'll do and you do the angle Shine Spark, it'll take you right into the super missile. But if you do it kind of the developer intended way, it takes you straight up, and you don't. So it's a nice little optimization there. We see. Oh yes. All right, Andrew getting the baby skip there.
Very nice. Yeah, on that, it's an interesting distinction, which way you do the Shine Spark, because in 100%, you're always going to do the angle version. There are randomizer situations when maybe you don't, because maybe you don't want to pick up that item, because it might not be anything good. Okay, Scotty not getting the baby skip. He's going to face right to save the, 20 frames or 40 frames on the stand-up animation.
Yep. Oh, wait. What is this?
Andrew's not Zeb skipping?
Not skip.
Now, to be fair, the main time save of Zeb skip is not in the actual room, although I do believe if you do it optimally, it is a time save. It's in not picking up ammo. Well, we had to 100% the game anyway, so ammo is not an issue here. So, Mike, I wonder if he just failed it the first time and just said, screw it, I'm just going to go for ammo.
Well, it looked like he set up a speed booster Zeb skip, and then lost the Shine Spark.
Yeah, that would make sense, because the advantage of a speed booster Zeb skip is you don't have to turn off screw attack. Now you see Scotty over there also doing without screw attack, doing the down back method, which is a much more difficult method than what you'll see. What you'll most likely see Christofalo and Toasty do.
Actually, Christofalo does do the down back.
Oh, does he? Oh, awesome. So maybe Toasty will be the only one turning off his screw attack here.
Yeah, I was talking to him about that the other day. And being one of those older runners, I was actually kind of surprised that he did the down back strat. But yeah, all right. There is Andrew setting up for the stand up glitch.
Yep.
Has the perfect amount of energy here. All right, so far looks good.
Yep,
for Andrew.
Yeah, there's several places where things can go wrong on stand-up. And in fact, when I went back and watched Zenny's run, or watched the VOD from yesterday, what happened to Zenny is actually one I hadn't seen before. A lot of people will go, "Oh, if you have X-ray, you can always get out of it." It's just not true. There are certain there are certain ways things can go wrong. The X-ray can help you. There are certain ways things can go wrong. The X-ray can't help you. And there's a whole bunch of ways that you just can't. That you just either get the slow lock, which is what Zenny had yesterday, also known as the John lock for French Lightning John, who waited for, I believe, like 3 hours on one of those during the first multi-category tournament in 2018.
Yeah, that's something that
could just be a full-on soft lock where you just have to reset.
Yeah, that's something we were praying last night did not happen to Zenny, that he'd be sitting there waiting for like 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean, in Zenny's case, I mean, I think that time is still going to be good enough. Should be good enough to get him in the tournament. But yeah, he's gonna. He'll go for something better, I'm sure.
It'll be good enough to get him a spot. But I mean, for a runner, for a runner like Zenny, there's no way we're not going to see him in the other qualifying rounds, or at least one of the other qualifying rounds.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Everybody in turning at once, I'm going to point out. We have Scotty in the stand-up portion, Andrew about to start the escape, Christofalo heading towards the Zebatites, and Toasty in the last Metroid room. So we're going to have a pretty close finish. Yeah,
Andrew in the escape here. We'll see if we can get a blue bomber. I think this is one of the best strats. Or nope, he's just gonna do the giant spark.
Honestly, I don't even know if that's supposed to have saved time.
The blue bomber?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it saves that crash animation.
Oh, okay, there you go.
That's its time save. It saves the crash.
And the crash it's like a second, but you know.
Yeah, well, you talked about that a little bit earlier, right? Like the Shine Spark not always guaranteed to be faster because it has that crash animation.
That's right. Okay, Toasty going for his baby skip. Christoffel going for the down back Zeb skip here.
Yep.
First time through, didn't quite get it. This is where this is where I talk about that. This is why I think Andrew decided to just go ahead and use the missiles, because you notice Christoffel will end up having to reset the entire room. At which point are you? I'm not sure you're saving time anymore.
No, I don't think so.
Whereas in any percent. Yeah, in any percent or other categories where you don't have the ammo, you just have to do it.
Yeah, you have to.
The whole point. The point, I don't know if you'd even bother with Zeb Skip if you had to pick up. It might not have ever been even discovered. As GG's to Andrew for finishing first place on our restream. We're going to go ahead and stay with all these guys before we start mentioning other finishes, I think.
Yeah. Here's Scotty coming up to the end of the escape here. And Christoffel pounding away on Mother Brain 2. Interesting bit of trivia. It takes 20 shots here with that full-on Ice Wave Plasma Beam, fully charged, of course, which is the same amount of shots as it takes to kill Ridley.
Yep, same health. The difference is Ridley takes double damage from supers, and Mother Brain does not. We do have an official SRL time first for Andrew at 1:22:40. Scotty finishing with an official SRL time 1:23:21.
Yeah, these are awesome times. These are just. I'm sure our runners will be like, "Oh, I'm not happy with these times," but these, frankly, are. If you can come in the 120s, that is a spectacular time.
Oh, absolutely, and it'll be interesting to see if Scotty in particular decides to run again, because he's got a bit of a time save because of that gauntlet mishap that he had.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if any of these folks are gonna, try again. There is later this evening, and I believe what else we have tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
right?
9 o'clock p.m. and 9 o'clock a.m. For the second round of qualifiers. They can each, if they choose to, they can run in one or both. Well, they can't run in both, but they can run in one of those races.
Yeah, they can run in one of the, and the reason for having two halves of the round is that allows folks all across the world to join in, and there's guaranteed to be a convenient time for people. So I really like that the tournament organizers have thought that far ahead because we have folks from all over the place, right? We have folks from Europe, we have folks from Asia joining in. Christoffel, I know, is in Europe. I think the rest of these guys are here in North America, but there are runners from Asia, like we talked about Hodarubi.
Yep.
So, this both Christoffel and Toasty here on the stand up, pounding away on Mother Brain 3. It's just Christoffel with a little bit of an edge here on Toasty. This has been awesome to see. I talked about this last night, that this has been spectacular to see, and how many runners have come out, and so yeah, stick around, folks. There's lots to come in the Super Metroid 100% tournament.
Toasty.
Oh no! Oh no! Yeah.
He's fine. That. I didn't see what happened, but all of a sudden we see just the body of Mother Brain. That's never what you want to see on screen.
Yeah, it was probably holding a charge shot when the beam switched over to Hyper Beam, and that can happen.
That can happen.
Yep. All right, we talked about it, that there's a number of ways for that to happen. Holding a charge shot when your game switches you over to Hyper Beam is one of them.
Facing the wrong direction at the wrong time will do it.
Facing
not
the
being
wrong
in the
direction.
air. There's certain places where you have to be in the air, and if you're not, you're gonna get locked down.
Yeah.
And the one, and then there's the one where if you don't have the baby Metroid positioned properly, the Metroid just never dies. I guess you die a hero or something.
Yep.
But Christoffel and Toasty both in the escape, so they're gonna be finishing up shortly.
Yeah, and there's that 100% there on Andrew's screen. That absolutely required. We got to check that and make sure. So confirmed, his time is good, and we're going to see it real shortly here for Scotty.
right?
All
There's
right,
that.
Christoffel finishing up with an official SRL time of 1:27:08.
Yeah, well, that's a great time.
And I should say they'll be official once we see the 100%.
Yeah, we see that. Scotty has that 100% there as well. So
Okay, and they're Toasty finishing up with an official SRL time of 1:27:34. So GG's to all our runners. Our first place winner was, in fact, Hadarubi. His SRL time was 1:20:44.
Yeah.
Also finishing, and then we have the next 5 here, right here on stream. Shortly after Toasty finishing, we had Woody finishing at 1:28:12. And
Yeah.
right now that's it. So there's still quite a few runners still going.
Yeah, I mean, this has been really exciting to see. And it'd be great to. We'll see. Maybe if we can do interviews with some of these folks, like we did last night.
See if any of them want to come in.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So again, we gotta check Christofalo and Tosi streams here. Make sure that they get the 100%. We're verifying that. Our admins are verifying that for all of our runners. So their time does not count unless it says 100%.
Yeah, you are required to have your stream go all the way through the credits just to make sure that you did get that 100%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is really exciting. Really good stuff to see.
Looks like we're gonna get at least Scotty and Christoffel in for interviews, just as soon as they're ready to join.
Yeah, and we have another runner who has finished Ploff 27, finished in 7th place with an SRL time of 1:29:53.
And we have Scotty with us, our 3rd place and 2nd place on the restream. How you doing, Scotty?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
So, what's it like to join the Super Metroid part of things? We're used to seeing you play, Zero Mission and Fusion, and you're very good at those games. But today you showed off that you can play this one too.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little rusty, obviously. A couple really big mistakes, like missing Crate Quick Kill and the Gauntlet missiles. That was kind of funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were surprised you didn't pick up the one on the left and kind of guarantee.
You want to just do it right, okay?
I wasn't thinking. I was just done with having missed that, so I just felt like I might as well do it the second time anyway.
Yeah, that's understandable. So go ahead.
I feel like I got like starting out, I felt really slow, and then I kind of got in the rhythm in it, and then I got a number of pretty nice tricks as well.
Yeah, doing the early ice route as well, which of course is, while more optimal, definitely the more difficult one. You're the only one on Restream that did that, so that was really cool to show off. Yep.
Yeah.
Come on, everyone else.
I can't say for the non-Restream runners, of course.
I just think it's a fun route.
See, I agree. I like the early ice route, and people give me guff for running it because I run it nowhere near as fast as most everyone else who runs it.
You don't need to. I mean, if you're having fun doing the route, I only wanted to do that because I didn't want to bother fighting Crocomire.
I know,
no,
right?
There isn't any.
That's the best part of doing early ice.
A much better fight.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Wow.
All right, now we've also got Christoffel joining us. GG's Christoffel.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah. So I think the last time I saw your name was during the randomizer tournament. So first of all, good to have you back. So what have you been up to for the last little bit?
Well, I stopped running because I moved to China and the internet quality there was not suitable for streaming, so I just took a big 2-year break from it. Now I'm back. I saw the Hundo tournament coming up, so I was like, oh, this is a good time to play. It's my favorite category, so I'm happy to be back. I just started doing runs again last week, and pretty happy with my time, actually.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, this was, a very good time. Obviously, we don't know what the final times are going to be, but I suspect we're going to see a lot of people that have that were restreamed today in the tournament. Of course, you all have more chances to join us. So are either of you going to do any more of these qualifiers? Try and get a better seed?
I'm going to hop in next week on Saturday, but I'm hoping to do some commentary as well. So
yeah, that'll
Probably
be awesome.
do another one next week as well, just to solidify my position.
Cool.
Well, they take the top time, correct? It's your top
Yeah.
time in the qualifier?
It's the top.
Alright.
Just whatever time is the top time. So you get 4 shots, whichever time comes out on top. We're no averages or anything like that, because really it's about what the best you can do is. There are other situations where it would make more sense to do averages. Not here. We just said nope. You get your shots. Whatever your best time is, that's the one you use.
All right, great. That is excellent to know. So if you are looking to join any one of the 3 remaining qualifiers, come on and join.
Yeah, better if you're not in the Discord, you probably want to get in the Discord, because we'll be announcing the race rooms in there for people to join.
Yep.
But yeah, everybody's welcome to join, no matter what skill level you're at. You got a shot at getting in. And before we wrap this up, let's see if either of our runners here want to add anything before we close out.
Not me. GG to everyone involved.
yeah, GG everyone. Just want to point out, I got Metroid skip. I don't know if anyone saw that. It was incredible. Don't even get it in practice, and then I failed the Zeb skip. So what a
I
rush.
can't understand baby skip for the life of me. I've never gotten it consistent.
It's rough.
It's one of those things.
It's stupid.
It's rough. I still skip over it in any actual race, just because I know that I'm gonna set up for it and I'm gonna try it, and then I'm just gonna be like, forget it. We're done. I'll make sure I'm turning around and looking to the right, so I can save my 40 frames that way.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I guess that'll do it for us. Hopefully you all tune in for the next race at 9 o'clock Eastern, 9 p.m. tonight, and 9 a.m. tomorrow morning Eastern. Join in either as a runner or just as a viewer. Either way. And I'll leave it to Serbaroff to go ahead and close us out here.
All right, fantastic. So we want to thank all of our runners, those being restreamed, those not being restreamed, for joining us today. We want to thank you for coming out and watching. Thanks to the SpeedGaming channel for putting us on, and we will see you next mission.